Here anyway.
Hey guys, this is James from Man Tripping and Men Who Blog. I am here, virtually anyhow, in Puerto Rico, one of my favorite parts of the United States. Yes, that's right, guys. They are part of the United States, not their own country, although it can be confusing sometimes. But anyhow, I loved my time I spent in Puerto Rico a few years ago. It is an amazing place that you can travel to without a passport. They've got great food. More importantly than great food, though, and great people, is great rums. So here we are. We are going to be talking with Bacardi. We've got a whole bunch of different Bacardis here. Bacardi 8, Bacardi 10, and not to be forgotten about, Bacardi Superior, which makes for some great mixers. But anyhow, guys, rather than me just keep talking, I just wanted to remind you this is a live and interactive show. So if you have a question, if you have a comment, even if you hate what we are doing right now, let us know. Comment. But I prefer you guys right now. Let us know where you're watching from. I'm here in San Diego, and just a few blocks away is the rum maestro, Kev Bo.
That's me. Boom!
Oh.
My book fell down. This is actually a book of rum that I was loaned by Laurie Armstrong Gossi, who's the recently retired. Congratulations. PR director of San Francisco Tourism. And you're supposed to take this book and log in and register it and then pass it along after you finish with it to another rum lover. So I was actually just reading about this and reading about how the Mojito, which we're going to be featuring today, was created by a Bacardi silver rum, which the modern version we have today, that was exclusive to Havana, and that was the original Mojito made with the original white Bacardi rum. We can talk more about that. We're going to have that. We have the national brand ambassador for Bacardi rums, a title that I want. Juan coming in. He's going to make a Mojito for us the way it's supposed to be made, because what we're doing is it's National Rum Day on Friday. And since we do our show on Tuesdays, that's what we're featuring today, National Rum Day. We also have on the unofficial brand ambassador of Puerto Rico, Terry Stamulus, a longtime destination PR person, who's going to talk about her native land or native territory, that is. And she's going to tell us a lot of things about Puerto Rico that we should all know, including the fact that they don't do steel drums there, that they salsa. And Puerto Rico, of course, is the home of Bacardi rums. We have many, many great Bacardi rums here today. We're going to do a sampling, so I will turn it back over to James, and we can keep rocking and rolling. Oh, we have Isabella. I'm sorry. a rum swilling.
Well, speaking of rocking and rolling.
Hello.
Oh, I got so excited with the rum, But so Isabella's going to play some rum drinking tunes today on her magical guitar and singing. I will warn you, though, once she starts playing, you're going to sing these songs. They'll be in your head all day. So you have to go to her website to keep listening to them, too, so you can hear them for real. So we also have our bartender, Gabby, who's going to make a Mojito along with Juan. And she's out getting a mix now. Pub Club at Ashley will be on as well. So we have a big, full show. And at the end of it, or sometime, I'm going to make my own favorite Bacardi rum drink, too. So let's stay tuned for that.
So are we going to kick this off with some music from Isabella, or Juan, did you want to do an intro, or Terry, did you want to talk a little bit about Puerto Rico and why everybody should love it as much as we all do?
If that's okay with you, I'd like to start so we can all have a drink.
There you go.
Hey, I'm down with that.
Yeah. So what a better way to kick this beautiful session with one of the most amazing and icons of the cocktail world, the Incredible Mojito. You guys know that the Mojito had a great story, and it's been said that the Mojito was invented by Richard Drake, the uncle of Sir Francis Drake. Happens that pirates, buccaneers, and Navy people used to take a daily dose of alcohol, used to be beer. That was called the daily tot, T-O-T. Then when the Caribbean venture started to happen, it was impossible to have beer around there because it would go bad right away because of that excruciating heat that we all are accustomed in the Caribbean, which we love, especially when we're like in the crazy month of the winter in the States. But the concoction consisted of diluted rum. They diluted it with water to minimize the effects of alcohol. They added lime to cure the scurvy, and they added yerba buena or mint, spearmint, because they thought it had medicinal like powers to heal, especially indigestion and seasickness back in the day. But the fact is, like, if you were diluting the rum of these very strong characters that were aboard the boats back in the day, they might consider, like, exterminating you because you're like cutting the daily tot. So to enhance the value of the beverage, they added sugar. Sugar was a commodity back in the day, so it was a great concoction. It tasted good, and that's the beginning of it. They call it el draquecito. It's actually in some of the islands of the Caribbean, you can still go to a bar and order a draque or draquecito, and they will give you the equivalent to a mojito. But the mojito really got the name in Cuba when we have a large, pretty much vocabulary when it comes to African religions and beliefs. So a mojo was something that was used to cast a spell back in the day. So it was a lot of herbs, roots that you model together, then you rub them around your face for the evil eye not to catch you. If you happen to come to Santeria, people, don't pay more than $20, okay? Please do not. And at the end of the day, all those things were added to this concoction to make aguardiente, which was the local spirit, to taste good. So in 1862, guess what? Rum was already civilized and it tasted very good. So it was from large amount, mojo, to small amount, mojito, of those herbs and lime. So that's the story of the mojito in a nutshell. So let's make one. I already to the magic of television. I'm gonna save you some time, but it should look like that, like this. Okay, I'm gonna raise it up. Beautiful, refreshing, and tropical. So for a mojito, what we're gonna use is an empty highball, and we're gonna take from 6 up to 8 mint leaves. So once we grab the mints, this is what we should do. I'm always gonna leave the sprig, the stem on top for my garnish. And I'm gonna grab the ones from the bottom. These are very large, so I'm gonna use about 6 of them. Once I have them, this is all you gotta do. Bruise them, or you can do that. And that's it. What does this do is activates the botanicals, essential oils. It's so aromatic and rich. That's all you need to do. You take these, you place it into a high bowl, then you add half a lime. I like to cut my limes in wedges. I can squeeze them with my hand and place them one by one. And then I'm gonna fill up my glass with ice. After the ice is on the top, my mint and my lime is in the bottom, I'm gonna take 2 parts of Bacardi Superior Carta Blanca, and then I'm gonna add it to it. The Bacardi Superior Carta Blanca is gonna be a great ingredient because it's a light body rum, but it's dry at the same time. Then I'm gonna add pretty much 1 ounce of simple syrup, which is equal parts of sugar and water. Why do I like simple syrup? Because it's already diluted. It's easy. If like Kev, he doesn't like sugar, we got a substitute. Agave nectar is fantastic.
Now, Juan, how much is 2 parts of Bacardi? Half the glass, right?
No. 2 ounces is 2 ounces. Okay.
I'm making this as you explained. So
lovely, lovely. Not 2 cups, 2 ounces. I will add half an ounce of agave nectar if that's the case. If it's simple syrup, 1 ounce. Okay. Then we're gonna take a bar spoon and we're gonna agitate the ice, bring the bottoms up, the lime, mix it all in, and then the rest is club soda. Simple as that. Remember, the mojito is neither a salad, not either a overly sweet drink. So it's just a refreshing concoction, and it needs to be placed with lots of ice and lots of care. You don't want to destroy your mint. You want to preserve it. So that's how we make a mojito, guys. And now to you. I hope you're having one. Salud. Cheers.
I'm putting the finishing touches on it. Well, wow, as you can see, I have club soda.
Yeah, don't take that soda.
So anyway, I will add that to it just now.
By the way, I think we should make hats mandatory. Everybody
I
looks
know. I put on a hat after I saw you have a hat.
There you go, looking good. James, your hat is very
I'm not as handy as you guys, so I'm just going to enjoy some Bacardi Ocho instead.
What else do I know? Oh, I'm going to do. Should I garnish it with the lime and the mint?
Yeah, just use mint. Take a sprig and do the bruising like we did with all the mint before too.
Got that.
You want a lot of mint on top because that's like enhance your lactics. So
a lot of mint on top. Okay.
Just the whole sprig. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't break them. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's try it out. Cheers. The
Cheers.
Bacardi Superior Mojito, born in Havana, Cuba, originally made with Bacardi rum. So this is like going back to the 1920s in Havana.
When it comes to garnishes for a mojito, you can go fancy or just simple. I just happen to have some umbrellas and we use.
I've got some. I've got little packets for me.
I have a special umbrella here too. Let me find it.
Hey, I have an umbrella.
There we go. Umbrella out, everybody.
There. Doesn't that look good?
That looks good.
All right.
Looks good.
Cheers. Wow, that's very refreshing. I need to make that more often. I always do my juice drinks. I need to make that mojito more often.
Oh yeah.
What if you put a I know this might go against the grain, but do whatever you want. What if I were to put a floater of the 10-year-old on it? Is that acceptable?
Of course.
Of course. Okay.
As long as it's Bacardi, it's acceptable.
Yes, exactly. So let me try that with a floater of the 10-year-old. Got a mint leaf in there with me too. Wow, you get a mint leaf in there in your taste buds. Wow, I love that. Okay, I like that better. Well, hey, I think we move on to Isabella. She's sitting there. After that, I'm wanting to hear some rum music. What you got, Isabella?
Yes. So I'm gonna play my new single for you guys. It's actually Hello.
Oh, Ashley.
So my name is Isabella Stefani. For those of you
Not met yet.
I think I've seen everything. So I'm still in Chicago. Fortunately or unfortunately, I can't tell yet. But going back to Florida very soon, having to move all my stuff back down to my apartment. Trying to work on more music now that things are starting to open up a little bit more. And all this talk of obviously rum and Puerto Rico and everything. I've definitely been to Puerto Rico before. I loved it. It was beautiful, amazing. And it made me want to go to the beach. So like, oh, kitty's so big.
I love your kitty so much.
On the show.
But this is called Beach Please.
I love this song. So blonde.
Jimmy and Mistress, Sergeant walks in my face, in my face, I ain't even calling. Hey, lady, hey, boss, need a little time off on my grind, need to find something in my life. She said, no, back to work you go. Please, gonna get me a house down south in the Bahamas. Beach, please, cause I gotta get up from under all this drama. Little hook, it's a kitty, little string, but kitty, and a 1, 2, 3, sing it with me. Beach, please, na 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 na. Beach, please, na 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 na. Hit on my desk and getting so depressed, then laying like sunblock got me feeling stressed, man. Hey lady, hey boss, gonna take some time off. Then she said, better stay if you like this job. And I said, no, out the door I go. Beach, please, gonna get me a house down south in the Bahamas. Beach, please, cause I gotta get out from under all this drama. Little hut, it's a hitty little string bikini, and a 1, 2, 3, sing it with me. Beach, please, na 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 na. Beach, please, na 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 na. Take a breeze with pink umbrellas, check and the Dallas. You think I miss my job? Well, honey, let me tell you. Beach, please. Got a sweet little house down south in the Bahamas. Beach, please. Gonna do whatever I want whenever I want. Drinking margarita in a stream, but key in a 1, 2, 3. Sing it with me. Beach, please. Na 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 na. Beach, please. Na 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 na. Beach, please. Na 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 na. Beach, please. Na 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 na. Beach, please.
Woo! I was like, want to sway. We needed some lighters or something. Like, I love it.
And look at Ashley. Ashley's got her own row.
Oh, I do. All to me and my little bitty self.
But hey, guys, just want to make sure everyone, when we were back in the bars, we always had tip jars. We always supported our musicians. I love the fact that Isabella, that you're actually putting how to make it, how to donate stuff, or not donate, but how to tip jar. I'm not sure what the right wording is.
Virtual tip jar.
Fun?
Virtual tip jars. But I just want to make sure that everybody knows it is super easy. All you need to do is go to Venmo and look up Isabella Stefania. It's actually hyphen, it looks like, or at least I'm sending money to the wrong Isabella Stefania. But I'm sure there's only one of you.
Yeah.
But really, guys, just like our bartenders, just like our waitresses, just like the people who are bringing our Instacart food and
Yes.
other sundries.
Tip our
please make sure
musicians.
we support our musicians too, because it's cliche, but we are all in the same boat. Luckily, our boat is on the way to Puerto Rico right now, and we've got lots of rum.
There you go.
Hopefully, you guys are all.
Well,
sticking
music
around
definitely helps to damper the, it helps the chipper, make us a little bit more chipper about the situation in life,
True. True. And if you ever are wondering if you're sending it to the right person or not, you can always friend me on Venmo, and I'll see it right here, and I'll accept it. And then you'll know it's me. And if you don't get an accept, then it's not me.
Did you get highlights? Your hair looks blonder.
I actually used the
Purple shampoo?
conditioner shampoo. Yeah.
It looks great. I love it.
I was like, wow, this is fantastic.
Yeah, it looks great. I'm jealous.
You used from water last night.
Oh, shoot.
Look at the hat.
Gabby, what are you making for us today?
I made a mojito while he was showing us how to make one.
Oh, I missed it. I was going to get Coke Zero. I needed a mixer. I didn't know if the orange juice is still going to be good.
We can talk about how to make one again if you like.
I'll call you later, girl.
You can come over.
Hey, play with your kitten. I have your scrunchie.
But
So
Terry,
what we got going on?
But Terry, why don't you talk a little about Puerto Rico? Actually, how to properly pronounce it to start with, because it's not Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico.
That one. ¿Me puedes oír, Juan?
Yes. See.
¿Qué pasó?
That's a picky thing with me. It's not P-O, people. It's P-U, so it's pue. So think of it as being a P-W-E. Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. Oh, I like it. Sassy. Puerto Rico.
Very good.
Yeah, I can see like any
that's
gay band going, Puerto Rico.
And as a matter
Okay,
of fact,
so-
I'm sure Terry is about to hit this part. The name of the island is Borinquen.
Borinquen.
That's very important.
Borinquen.
I'll leave it up to you.
Borinquen. Called it. That's what the Indians called it. So
okay.
Juan and I are Boricuas because we're from. Well, actually, I'm a New Yorican. He is probably a true Boricua. What I don't know what town you're from.
It sounds like you
But,
said you're New Yorkian to me right there.
A New Yorican. Is
Is that what you said, though, right?
It's
That's what it sounded like to me.
Hold on.
A New Yorkian. New Yorkian.
New
With an
York,
accent.
as in born in New York.
See, I was right. Got
I
it.
just wanted to go
Born
to
in the Bronx.
the Puerto Rico Day parade in New York.
Bronx, get it, girl.
Experience.
The weekends actually are
So Kevin,
strong
you asked me
cultural.
to wear something. You asked me to wear something Puerto Rican. This is it. I don't know if you can see this.
Soccer?
We are San Germán, is
Football?
the home of the athletics, of the Los Atléticos, the athletes. We are a winning basketball team. Our town is considered the cradle of basketball on the island.
Nice.
We've won more championships than, well, we're tied with Ponce and Bayamon for basketball championships. Basketball and baseball are the two souls of the hearts of our island for sports. I'm getting feedback. I hope you guys can hear me.
I can hear you
Anyway,
just fine,
thanks
darling.
for inviting me. Okay, so thanks for inviting me, Kevin. Of course, my favorite rum drink, as Kevin knows, is the pina colada. And my second favorite drink from rum is in Christmas time. Every single family makes this at home. What is it, Juan? Coquito. It's a form of eggnog. Yes, it's not eggnog. We refer to it as our version of the eggnog.
What do you call it? What do you call it?
I'm all ready for that, except for it plays with my green.
What do you call it?
Coquito.
Coquito.
It's a play on the. It is very, very good. The word coquito is. It's a play on the Puerto Rican frog that lives there, the coqui. For those of you who live in South Bay or have been in Hawaii, you know that some of them have inadvertently come here and they don't have. You have it? Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So it's funny. I used to have a really good Puerto Rican friend when I lived in Chicago, and she made amazing. Actually, to be honest, I don't know if it was amazing, but I knew that it was the best I've ever had. And we've tried to make it, but I think there's a secret recipe, a secret ingredient, a secret process that maybe you have to be actually family to fully understand how to produce it, because we've tried and it's just not the same as it is when you have it from from a real Puerto Rican family.
No, James, you're right
Every
about
family has a secret to making it. Don't you agree, Juan?
I totally 100%. I was going to go into that. Like, if you go to your friend's house, their grandma's recipes is alive, and it's the best one. God forbid you say something that your mother's is better, that will kill you right there. But every house, it's about like the recipe. But it's not about which one is better. It's about like being able to share it. Everybody shares. They make a big batch of coquito every Christmas. And it's about like, on year one. So
I might have to try this out.
Around the family, and that's the beauty of coquito, the sharing part.
So what are the basics? What is basically in it? You don't have to give me like the special, family recipe, but what is the basic?
I can go with mine, Terry, but mine is
no secrets, just the basic.
Of course, depending on the time and who you want to impress, you can add your garnishes and things. But here we go. So the coquito has coconut milk, evaporated milk, condensed milk, and of course, Bacardi. Then the canela or cinnamon, nutmeg, it's all up. I like to make my coconut milk and roast it. I like roasted coconut milk.
Oh, I've definitely never done that. That's something new.
Flakes, put them on a pan until they're golden brown, and then I add the coconut milk to it, and then I strain that once it's cold. So the brown of the coconut flakes will impact the flavor of the milk.
Well, I'm coming for Christmas. You be ready for me, all right?
You're more than welcome.
And then I understand that Bacardi actually makes a bottled coquito now too.
Oh yeah, that's the one that I work in.
There you go.
And it's right here. Prototype, sorry, but yeah, this was left.
Juan, is that made with one Bacardi rums, the light rum, or you use a couple different Bacardi rums? It seems to me like I like the darker rum better, but is it which rums do you use when you make that?
You see a very important spot culturally. Like every household will like add the rum of the Bacardi family that they consider like will enhance the flavor. In this case, we have a combination of aguardiente and destilado. So we have rums that by law have been aged in American white oak. Very charcoal filter to allow them to be more mixable. But it's a different blend of aguardiente and destilado. It's none of this. It's a special blend that we did.
Okay, all right.
And is that available all year round or just for holiday?
All year round, yeah.
Okay.
I drink a little. Well, everybody drinks it all year round anyway. So. And you know what? In the summertime, if you put them into a popsicle and put it in the freezer.
That's amazing. Poolside, yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Well, I might just have to go order popsicle molds then.
There you go.
I have some. I haven't even used it. Hey, a 99-cent store has them.
I actually that I haven't used either. I'm like,
I know, like I had every envision of like making these popsicles, and then I haven't even. They're still their package. They're not even washed yet.
you mix it up and you just start drinking it. And you're like, well,
Yeah, it's like we're just gonna drink it like this. Yeah, could have been cool as a popsicle, but
yeah.
So Terry will attest to what I'm gonna say. There is two ingredients or two things or two recipes that if you don't have that, you haven't had Christmas or holidays in Puerto Rico. One is Coquito, and the other one are pasteles. You get those two. Like Santa was not around. Christmas, the spirit of Christmas was not within your household. So those two things, I'll let you, Terry, like expand on that. But that's like
Sure.
it doesn't matter if you're a New Yorican, if you're Asian Rican, or Puerto Rican outside of the.
Terry, just take that and go, woo! Go for it, girl.
It's true.
Expand.
So pasteles are basically the for those of you who are
Ignorant like
Californians
me.
in particular, it's the easiest thing is to say that they're our version of a tamale. They're made either with green bananas or root vegetables. They're wrapped in
Christmas
banana
time.
leaves and cooked in the banana leaves, and they are absolutely fabulous. And by the way, you put como se dice, you put meat or things in it. And every mother and every abuela has their own way of cooking the meat that goes into the pasteles. It's a family tradition. They are a lot of work. Restaurants sell them, but they are a family tradition, and families sit together to make them. And it's just, and you drink your coquito and you laugh. And if you don't work fast enough, your abuela, your grandmother might get a little cranky because people are coming to sing music and come to your house at Christmas time. You have to have them.
Funny.
They're fabulous. They're fabulous.
Well, tamales in Texas. My ex-boyfriend, his mom's Mexican. He was half white, half Mexican. But like tamales was tradition. So at Christmas time, it was like a line, like you do this to that, assembly line. Yeah, it's like you do this and you do this and this, and it's awesome. And I didn't realize that was a tradition until that moment, and I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, it's the other thing that we eat, and Juan knows this, is roast pork, but we call it pernil, and it is fabulous. Every family, I'm very proud that I have. My mother has passed away. I did not learn how to make her coquito, unfortunately, but I did learn how to make some of her other dishes. And the roast pork is probably the one that my brothers just adore when I make it. If you actually go to the island, and this is one of the things for people who say to me, "Oh, I've been to Puerto Rico," and I look at them and I go, "Let me guess. You have been to the El Conquistador for the European experience and the inclusive resort, or you walked around old San Juan for 4 hours because you were on a cruise." And they go, "Yes." I go, "No. Then you weren't on the island. You
did not experience
go para la isla. You have to get in a car and drive around. And about 30 minutes from San Juan, there's a place called the Pork Highway, La Carretera de Lechon. You know it, one, right? And they have all of these great little restaurants who specialize in lechon or pernil, the roast pork, and all the traditional dishes. And it's something that everybody really should do.
Okay.
I would definitely reiterate that if you get a chance, although absolutely get the extra insurance on the car, but rent a car and drive around, because once you get outside of San Juan is a great city. I really had a great time there too, but it's like any other city. But get outside, get out of the countryside. You'll see guys, instead of people running around like, on motorcycles, you have guys running around the streets on horseback with basketball jerseys on, and You can see people that are just, the fields and farmers, and it's a completely different thing. It's a little bit unnerving, especially for a guy like me who speaks just enough Spanish to get in trouble. But we walked into a restaurant thinking, this place looks interesting. I spoke a little bit of Spanish and then quickly realized that I was way in over my head. Everybody in the restaurant turned around and goes, who is that white guy? But the food was good. People were friendly. And it gave me a better perception of the fact that it's a different culture, but it's still, we all share the same love of music and food and rum, and it's a great place. That's super easy to get to, especially from New York. You guys have daily flights from New York, and I'm sure there's daily flights from other places into San Juan too. But
you can go from Los Angeles. You can go from Los Angeles.
And speaking of daily flights. Oh yeah, no. They don't go nonstop. They go direct. You have one stop. So you guys all travel, so there are no nonstops out of LA any longer. So you have to make one stop. Usually it's Miami. I was going to say New York, Charlotte. I just was there a few weeks ago actually, and I do want to share with everybody that if you are going down to the island now, please go to the Discover Puerto Rico tourism site, because they tell you what all the new rules are. You do have to register. You have to actually get a COVID-19 negative certificate uploaded to the website. They'll give you one of those little QR codes that when you go through the airport, they take your temperature, they ask you, and the QR code will let them know where you're going, where you're from, and why you're on the island. If you don't do that, there's a 14-day mandatory quarantine. So it's pretty strict. And Hawaii, by the way, is going to implement a similar program. I think it's on September 15th. So I was just there everywhere you went, whether it was what we call a come y vete, a little snack shop along the road. They took your temperature. You had to wear a mask. If you're going inside to get your food, they sprayed your hands with disinfectant. I did not see one person without a mask. I live here in Long Beach. I would say easily 25% of the people walking I live right by the beach, as Kevin knows, walking their dogs, running, no mask, walking around. So it's very, very strict. People really are trying to contain the COVID. But please go. It's the people are wonderful. We're friendly. We love music. We love bars. There's some great bars in San Juan. Actually, I found one, Kevin, that might be right up your alley and James, when you go. It's in Aguada. Hold on a second, because I was reading about it. We really were not there we were there for family business, so we really didn't go places. But there's in Aguada, which is one of the towns, there's a secret bar called El Taller, and it's a garage. During the day, they fix cars, and at night they turn it into a bar. It's kind of a secret speakeasy.
Like a speakeasy.
And you have to know where it is, but once you do, you're going to have a blast, because again, it's locals drinking Bacardi, having run, playing dominoes. It's what you travel for. You don't travel to stay in a... And by the way, I'm in the tourism industry.
No, it's those little hidden gems that make it so worth it.
I say this with all due respect. I have stayed in Holiday Inns, but you don't go there to sit by the pool at the Holiday Inn.
No.
Even if you come to California, you get out there to meet the people. That one.
Yeah, that's true.
That's definitely, when I went there, my family, we love to travel. When we go somewhere, we don't just stay at the resorts and stuff. We go and see the culture and learn about and talk to people and all this. And so we actually, way after we've been there already, we went back. One of the stops was San Juan, which we didn't actually hit the first time. We actually stayed the week there because we were just busy doing all the other stuff and talking to people, going out. And we got off the boat in San Juan, and I was like, this is not what I remember it was. So I was like, this is very commercialized, and it's still beautiful. The water's beautiful. People are awesome, so friendly. I was like, wow, so many people miss the real culture of Puerto Rico, or Puerto Rico, and it's so... actually frustrating that people don't see that stuff because it's so beautiful, it's so cultural, and then kind of like the commercialized spots of everything kind of ruin it a little bit.
Well, tourism was about.
I feel it's about
the same way.
Well, let me just say from a pub clubber standpoint, I'm sure that's a great speakeasy. I like to check it out. But downtown San Juan, Old Town San Juan is great for nightlife. It is Cali, how do you pronounce it? It starts with an F. How do you pronounce that street? And it is a lineup. Fazela. And I'm telling you what, you walk down the street, these restaurants become bars and bars, and there's a couple of real small club stuff, but the music is in there. The people love the spirit of it. You know, they're dancing, they're singing, it's just a great experience. And you know, gentlemen, let me say the ladies are sensational looking, and they're walking around in their short dresses and their high heels, clomp, clomp, clomp on those old cobblestone streets. And let's just say I really enjoyed it. I also went over to the original Pina Colada bar, and I highly recommend taking the Bacardi Tour, which is not only cool because you get on a boat to go over there. It's actually not in San Juan or the main island. You guys can explain it better than me. All I know is you walk out, you get on a boat, then you get on a little van or something. It takes you over there. You get this great tour, and then you sit afterward and have a couple of Bacardi drinks. And if you're lucky enough and persistent enough, maybe someone that's not as big of a drinker as you, and you can get their drink tickets. And we wound up staying there till the staff is coming out, and it was just a great experience. And
to your point,
his persistent is you, but you're so funny, Kevin.
The Bacardi Visitor Center is the second most visited place in the island of Puerto Rico. We cover over 1 million visitors a year. And of course, the port is not that far away from us, and we do tours, and we are basically one of the hubs of like hospitality, and we like to tell people about all the richness and beauty that the island has to offer. We usually, when we get people that is getting off boats, we try to persuade them and convince them to use the way back and just to catch a plane and spend some time in Puerto Rico, because the island has so much to offer. You know, from besides all the elements of good food, like actually, I personally would like to like do something weird right now, and when we can travel, that is all safe, that you guys feel all secure, I would like to personally give you a tour of the island.
Oh,
that would be amazing.
Wow.
That would be so awesome.
Wow. Coming right out of the airport, like I kid you not. I'm gonna take you to Luquillo, to the Playa Luquillo, where we're gonna have like so many like street foods and beach food that is incredible. There's a thing called food here that is gonna blow your mind. And once you have like your Bacardi and Coke in the other hand, you'll be like, well, I'm in heaven. And then we can go to the beach and go to some local bars. You can have your pina colada and all that. And
this is totally happening. You don't know what you've done to yourself. Sometimes it's a good time.
The next day in the morning, I will take you to experience something unique that Puerto Rico has. And
like
that is coffee.
Nice.
Coffee in Puerto Rico is a protected industry.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Like coffee, I can't describe it. If you're into coffee, Puerto Rican coffee blows. And you know, in Puerto Rico, if you were to open a coffee shop, you have to use 70% of the local beans. It's mandatory.
Yeah.
It's a protection. Then after coffee, you're gonna go to Old San Juan and have some magdalena, malagueña over there. You know, like the sweet breads that they make like sandwiches. So you have like sweet and salty. We continue. We go to the Bacardi Distillery. We learn about the rum process. We learn about the Bacardi family and how the Puerto Rican rum industry has developed for like so many years. So we get to try different cocktails out there. Lunchtime, I'm gonna take you to eat like some local seafood right there in the town where the spot is located. Chiscataño. There's so many great places.
I'm sold, all right? You don't even have to milk it anymore. I'm down. Let's do it. Let's go tomorrow.
Yes.
I am down for that. I guarantee you.
It's interesting, and I think what really is I was thinking it before Juan started going on and on about how wonderful Gallon and all this stuff. One of the things that I noticed is that if you go to Puerto Rico, and it probably doesn't matter if you're in San Juan or if you're in one of their towns, but if you go there and you just like ask the cab driver or the Uber driver, where should I go to eat? They're just going to tell you the place to go for tourists. But if you actually ask them, say, get to know the person, talk to them, ask them, where do you like to go to eat? you suddenly find out now, and I don't see this in other parts of the Caribbean or in Mexico, for instance. But I feel like Puerto Ricans are extremely proud of their culture, of the places that they'll welcome you into the family. They'll tell you the right place to go. And case in point, the first time we went to when we tried to go to dinner in San Juan, we ended up in this totally touristy place. People dressed up in costumes, and it was I can't remember the name, but it's the place that everybody thinks of when they think of a Puerto Rican restaurant. What's that?
You went to Raíces.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, and it was fine. It wasn't bad, but we're like, hey, this is not real. So we asked the waitress, like, hey, thank you for dinner. Where do you guys like to go? And we ended up in this little hole in the wall shop, and we had the best mofongo, and then we got to know the bartender, and he goes, oh, I've got something special in the back. And we're like, uh-oh, what did I just stumble into? But I guess it's very common to have this it's kind of a rum moonshine that's flavored up with fruits and what's that?
Anise. Sorry, anise. Chicharito.
Oh, anise. Yeah.
Is that common?
There's a chicharito, so it's like rum or aguardiente.
Is that common?
Sorry, I lost you. There was an echo.
The island is definitely one of those places that find a friend, even if the friend happens to be in New York or in Los Angeles, and you're just traveling there on your own. Ask that friend ahead of time. Say, hey, Juan, I'm going to San Juan. Where do you recommend? Because I guarantee you that my trip is going to be 100 times better having Juan tell me just one place I should go than to pick up the tour guide at Discover Puerto Rico. Discover Puerto Rico does a great job. I got nothing wrong with them. But the real nitty-gritty stuff is so much more enjoyable.
You like smiling and dancing. Santurce. We can witness a cigar rolling experience, and for us to understand it as well with rum. We can go to a chocolate factory and see process and understand how chocolate and rum organically work, food markets, all that. And of course, at the end, we're gonna be dancing. Lots of dancing.
You got a lot. How about some more music? How about some more music? Now that you mentioned that, I'm in the mood.
And by the way, this Bacardi Ocho is really good, Juan.
I think I'm doing that one next.
After Isabella, I'm going to go into...
Hey, Isabella, are you going to play us something soon?
Yeah, I can play it right now, or I can play it after if you want.
Right now. Let's go right now.
All right now. Let's go.
I know my service is crazy right now.
I definitely want to play you guys one of my new songs that actually...
Well, you're muted. You're muted. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's hear it.
I wrote a song yesterday with one of my friends, and it's great. And I wanted to play it for you, but I don't have the lyrics right for you guys, so I don't want to mess it up. But I just texted her and I was like, "Hey, send it to me now." I have the work tape, but of course I can't be like listening to it while I'm like trying to play. So that was the song I played for you guys because it goes perfect with what we were talking about. But now I'm gonna play a little bit of Work Now, Beach Later for you guys.
Hey, swing it.
Who doesn't want to like work hard now, get everything done, save up
Just
some money?
play. Have fun, girl. Live your life.
In Puerto Rico, doing nothing. It works. Here it goes. My brain is overused and my days are long. I'm always thinking about living in a Jimmy Buffett song. Hard to keep my focus between 9 and 5, but it's gonna pay off the vacation time. Work now, beach later, gotta get to my favorite time waster. Soaking up the snow, life ain't nothing greater. Work now, beach later. It would be damn my unpatriotic if I couldn't get my share of Hawaiian travel. Paradise is waiting where the palm trees sway. I get to go to heaven, but not today. 'Cause work now, beach later, gotta get to my favorite time. But the paper, sky wallpaper, work now, beach later. There's a whole lot more to life than just slaving away. Hey, 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 just ask any pirate, poet, or castaway. Work now, beach later, gotta get to my favorite time. Wasting, soaking up the sun, life ain't nothing greater. Work now, beach later, work now, beach later, gotta get to my favorite time. Wasting, soaking up the sun, life ain't nothing greater. Work now, beach later, I leave myself a note on the refrigerator. Work now, beach later.
So catchy. Seriously. I'm like, I'm going to see y'all later. I'm going to go to the beach now.
I told you you're going to be singing those songs.
I live today.
You're going to be singing that all day long. So either tune into Radio TropRock or go to Isabella's Facebook page or her website or her YouTube, right, to hear that song.
Yeah. All those.
All those.
Spotify, iHeartRadio. I'm actually on 11 different TropRock radio stations. If you listen to any of those, all the stations are great. Hear lots of different original music mixed in with some, Buffett and Chesney, but a lot of it's original stuff by artists like me that, write their own stuff or co-write with other artists in the TropRock community, and it's good vibes. It's beachy music. It's drinking songs that you want to feel good to.
We had a number of TropRock artists on at a very popular show about a month ago, and it was a great show. We had Eric Babin of Radio TropRock, kind of engineering everything. Isabella made the big mistake that musicians will only make once. She was traveling without her guitar, which
I had to pack lightly. I packed 8 days into one little suitcase. I was like, this is impossible, especially for a female. I was like, I need everything. I
know.
Well, everyone said well,
you managed.
Always travel with guitars. Music.
You live, you learn. I live everything the hard way too, darling. It's okay.
Juan, we got all these great rums here. What do you do with testing of these great Bacardi premium rums?
Well, Isabella, remind me about.
Do we drink them on the rocks or straight up?
Straight up.
All right. Straight up, gonna leave you for a second then.
Yeah, go get your fancy glasses.
I got my fancy glasses.
Isabella, remind me of mine. I got these at an event. These are beautiful. These are like basically whiskey tasting glasses.
Which one we try first?
Or whiskey snifters, as they call them, but they're great for rum as well. Any age dark spirit will benefit from the way it flows the aromatics and the notes of it. And I call them the untamable. They're engraved. Untamable. I know it's backwards to you, but yes, they're untamable.
What is it?
Okay, well, we trying first.
We're going to drink Bacardi Añejo.
Bacardi 4.
So, Bacardi Añejo 4 años is...
Cuatro.
Yes, everybody.
That's 4 for all you English.
Yeah, our heritage is Latino. So, I wanted to pour in there about 3/4 of an ounce. And let it be in a glass. Just stir the glass if you can. Don't bring it up to your nose. Don't, kitty cat, don't smell that rum. You're too young. So you want the rum to become dominating into the glass, and that's very cool. We're going to let it sit for a second while I tell you a couple of things. What is an añejo rum? An añejo rum is a rum that is being sitting in American white oak cask that has had a medium chart for at least 4 years. That's it. So there's an amazing relationship between the heat in the Caribbean, American white oak, and rum. So as you guys know, when the temperature rises, rum expands, penetrating drastically into the pores of the barrel of the inside, touching the barrier of like sharpness that it has. And then when it cools off, that alcohol retreats back into the barrel, bringing in beautiful elements that are permanent in the wood, like vanilla acid, whiskey lactose a little bit. We don't want that too much. That's why we use second-hand barrels from the whiskey industry. And the rum just gets more mature and requires more presence and charisma. That's all there is. So this 4-year-old, in my opinion, is about that person that just finished college and got their first job, and he knows what he wants to buy a car, maybe rent an apartment downtown somewhere, and has his own personality. That's a 4-year-old rum for me. It has character. It has definitely a path. It's going for a straightforward decision. It's a rum that we drink a lot in the Caribbean. It reminds me of like an everyday rum. And in there you will find notes of cloves, hints of vanilla.
Let me just interrupt for a second, if you don't mind. If this is your everyday rum, folks, the rum is really, really, really good in Puerto Rico. Wow. So I'm sorry, go ahead, because it's great rum.
So it's a rum that is definitely good to be mixed with Coca-Cola, to drink it.
He's obsessed with rum, y'all, so.
To enjoy in a cocktail such as the Presidente. I will drink it.
I haven't even opened it yet, because I want to experience it for its flavor, and then maybe make it later.
And you can also enjoy it in a simple mixer, such as, I don't know, a Presidente cocktail would be fantastic. This will happen.
Orange juice, as Kevin likes to do. He's obsessed with that.
And to taste it, we're simply
I'm drinking straight up. We gonna sample this or what?
Yeah, we are. The way we're gonna do this is by allowing the rum to be placed at chin level. So under your chin, under your nose, just simply place the glass, and allow the aromas of the rum to invite you, to come to you. So place it at your chin level, lower.
Okay.
Don't drink it.
Okay.
Once you're from the aromas of cloves, the wood, the molasses, you're gonna take a small, tiny sip. We're gonna take that sip and do a mouthwash with it. We're gonna pass it throughout the tongue and everything, or every part of the tongue. And then we're gonna take
I'm not gonna spit it back in the glass, am I?
What was that?
I don't spit it back in the glass, do I?
No.
Again?
No, heavens no.
No.
You said mouthwash. Mouthwash. What do you do with mouthwash?
Swirl it.
We're gonna take a small sip.
Okay.
We're gonna swirl it. We're gonna warm it up. Make sure the rum acquires the same temperature of our mouth feel. Then we're gonna take it in, and immediately we're gonna exhale to our mouth, eliminating the excess of alcohol. Okay? Ready? Then, when you tap, what's left over when you oxidize the palate is the richness of molasses, the impact of the American white oak, and that hint of vanilla is almost bitter and sweet at the same time. So this is an añejo rum, a rum with character. Okay?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's interesting.
It's our everyday rum. I'm gonna move forward with Bacardi Tour.
Wow. I still feel it coming. You know, it's not a little aftertaste, but it's not like a bitter bad aftertaste.
Sweetness,
A nice aftertaste is just kind of lingering in there.
No, it's like a sweet. It's a sweet aftertaste, right?
Wow, you like it, huh?
Sweet.
You're gonna need another bottle soon there.
I know. It's my favorite.
It's because she gave all the bottles to me. I can share with you, Gabs. Don't worry. I will give you back. I can give you some back.
The next rum that we're gonna try is Bacardi 8 años. 8 meaning 8. So this is our reserva rum or reserve rum. In Bacardi 8 años, it is a beautiful cornucopia of flavors, aromas, rich layers of nutmeg, pineapple, steamed fruits, and a delicious vanilla vein to it. So let's go ahead and pour a little bit into our glass. If you happen to have a new glass, even better. If not, that's fine. So we're gonna add almost an ounce in there, 3/4. And let's study deeply the color and the way it behaves in the glass, because now we can compare it with Bacardi Añejo Cuatro, no? We saw how it moved in the glass. So this is a deeper, heavier body rum. It has a deeper color that comes definitely from the impact that the American white oak sharp barrels have had into the alcohol.
Oh.
So that being said, we have a rum that if we place it at chin level immediately, we get prunes, raisins, stone fruits, nutmeg, like a caramelized pineapple, which is quite delicious and aromatic in there. Now that we're rum evangelistas, let's go ahead and take a sip.
I can smell the butterscotch. Yeah.
Smell like the pineapple, everything off the top.
Yeah, this butterscotch is what I smell mostly.
It's like butterscotch.
Yeah.
Try to do that swirling on the mouth. Warm it up.
Apricot, maybe apricot and the butterscotch combined.
This rum is definitely
that's what I smell.
Palate conquer. And it's the rum that craft bartenders love the most from our collection in the world. As a matter of fact,
yeah?
the toast that we do globally every time there's a huge Bacardi event, such as the Legacy of the Coquito competition. And we go from 1, counting in Spanish, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, kind of like a samurai style. It was a toast invented by a Japanese bartender that won the cocktail competition in 2012 in Puerto Rico. And it's about letting all the fears and the bad energy that you have inside by saying, oh, John, rolling the R, scaring humans out and having that space for positive experiences.
If you go to I'm sorry, Juan, if you go to a bar and you want to have a rum drink, first look for this on the shelf or ask the bartender if they have the Bacardi 8-year-old. It is outstanding. And some bars actually have it now. You got pretty good distribution. But the first thing you should do is you should go and ask the bartender if they've got the Bacardi 8-year-old. And if you have that, you're going to have a much better rum drink than you would probably envision when you went in.
Kevin, to your point, this rum makes my favorite old-fashioned. I'm like an old-fashioned guy.
Oh, yeah, love me some old-fashioned. May I ask a question real fast? Why the bat?
That's a great question, actually. The bat is one of the symbols of our family. And for the Spaniards, the bat represents good opportunity, prosperity, and family union. There is a bat in the coast of Spain. There's a bat in the coast of Valencia. So, unfortunately, we in America,
I had no idea.
We don't embrace the bat as a positive thing, but Europeans, they do.
Aww, love that.
Another one for the Taino Indians, which were the original people of the islands before everything happened. The bat also represents a good opportunity. Sort of like when we see a shooting star, we make a wish upon it. When you see a bat in the Caribbean, you make a wish as well. Something good is gonna happen. Bats are the number one colonizers of the islands. So we wouldn't have certain. Yeah, they take the seeds of the fruits. And
I had no idea.
Yeah, bats.
They also eat insects and mosquitoes.
Well, I know, but like, I mean, here in the U.S., it's like you see 11:11, you make a wish, or you hold your breath and make a wish over the train tracks. But a bat, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's
okay. I think that's awesome.
That Doña Amalia,
they're really cute. If you ever see them up close, they're like little bitty, like they're so cute.
Doña Amalia Victoria Moreau, the wife of our founder, Don Facundo Bacardi, she helped him establish the company. And she took the decision of suggesting to Don Facundo, like, let's put a bat as a logo to a rum in the early days, because we had a high rate of illiteracy back in the day. I swear to you, we fixed that problem, otherwise I wouldn't be here right now. But that was the beginning. So the bat represented the Bacardi rum. The bat was so popular that people used to ask, may I have a bottle of the rum bat? The bat, you know.
Hey, Spanish, marketing is everything, right?
Yeah, it works.
I honestly, it wasn't until today that I realized, and then I'm like, It's everywhere. It's all over.
Yeah.
And that I need to know why.
Yeah, asking Ashley. In Spanish, that is murciélago. Murciélago. I'm not expecting you to repeat it, but so for you know, it's the only
Terry can.
word. It's the only
¿Cómo
word.
se dice?
Murciélago. It's the only word that we have in Spanish that has all the vowels in it.
Oh, I can't use my phone to look it up either. I usually have my iPad. I can't.
Murciélago. Okay?
Murciélago?
Murciélago.
Murciélago.
Oh, no, it's
Yes. So let's go ahead with the last rum that we have.
now,
That is Bacardi. I'm going to use my
Spell it out for me in the chat, and I will pronounce it.
Okay,
How about that?
That's fair. The last rum that we have to try today, it's a rum that is outstanding and delicious too. And I had the privilege to work with this a lot, as well as Cuatro. And this rum really embodies the art of blending. Our maestro de ron, Joe Gomez in Puerto Rico, he created a masterpiece. In here, there's a collection of several aguardientes and destilados, the spirits that we make out of sugarcane molasses. And he was able to age them in different barrels, in different parts of the warehouse, and at different proportions he assembled this rum, creating a beautiful, delicate masterpiece. I'm gonna let this rum definitely speak for his own. It's quite succulent, delicious. In my opinion, in here you get a lot of like extra that are compounds that are developed due to aging and evaporation. When we make a rum that is 10 years old, due to the heat in Puerto Rico, the barrel pretty much dissolves and evaporates most of it, okay? So I want you to consider that in here, after we fill a barrel full with rum, after 10 years, we're talking about a quarter of the barrel left. So the angel's share is the loss of volume of alcohol due to evaporation. The angels took 3/4 and left us 1/4. So this is the gift from the angels to us from Puerto Rico.
Oh, yes.
Good job.
Look at that color. And Kevin, you were talking about the long, extensive perfume of this rum is quite delicious. Every word that you'll be speaking after you take a sip will be perfumed with it. And thank you guys very much for joining me in this tasting.
Wow. I remember when Lou Larry and I were going through the Bacardi, taking the Bacardi tour, you could pick up these little holes in and you could smell the actual differences of the rum. I don't know how to describe it. It was kind of like these little things in a bar you pick up and you sniff in. And when we got to the 8 and 10-year-old, they basically had to drag Lou Larry out by her arms to go to the next part of the tour because it smelled so good, and we didn't want to leave that until, of course, we got to the rest of the tasting afterward.
This is a beautiful sipping rum. You know, we'll make your early evening or late night after like a big meal. It will serve as a digestive. It goes well with the dessert, with a cigar, or just with a good conversation. And
to good music, to good friends like we have here.
Absolutely.
Hey, I'm going to have to go to Bevmo and do some Bacardi shopping because I'm going, what?
Well, they definitely have the 8-year-old at Bevmo, and I'm not sure. They probably have a couple of these other ones, but definitely always look for the 8-year-old because it's one of their premium rums. I don't know why. You know better than I. It seems to be the easiest to find of these three.
Cuatro is very popular because it's the añejo, and as I told you, it's a rum that we use every day and it's delicious. And Superior is always, my go-to when it comes to cocktails. But when I'm like sipping and I want to like cocktails that are like more robust in the sense of like spirit forward, like an old-fashioned, like a rum hat and etc., or something that requires more flavor, I will go for one of these three, or a nightcap.
A nightcap! I like that.
Yeah.
Well, that leads into me. I'm sorry.
Well, I say one thing for those of you who may not be familiar with rum pricing versus whiskey pricing, these are really good rums, and even the 8-year is only I think $24. So I think it's really impressive that you can get a rum that is fully sippable, very enjoyable, for under $50. Whereas a lot of the whiskeys today are pricing themselves at above $50 for similar quality.
It's a great point. I've seen this at grocery stores, Vons and Ralph's too, and sometimes they lock it up in a separate case. But I've seen some of these high-end Bacardi rums in the grocery store too, so you can probably find them there as well.
Guys, pretty quick, if I can just mention, you mentioned whiskeys, and that's a great thing. I love all spirits, but rum definitely is one that owns my heart. And when it comes, for example, to the Bacardi 8-year-old Reserva rum, so we lose here half of the barrel. That means a lot to us. Evaporation. If only Ireland or Scotland will have this excruciating heat attacking their barrels, the maturation ratio that we'll have in the spirits will be very accelerated. So an 8-year-old rum is equivalent to a 16 or 18-year-old Scotch. They only lose from 2 to 4% every year of evaporation. We lose from 8 up to 10% every year. The maturation ratio is very accelerated. So that tells you two things on Angel's share. Angels prefer to drink more rum than whiskey.
Our buddy Tom from bourbonblog.com would like to hear that. He couldn't come on today. I'm going to make my favorite rum drink, my favorite Bacardi rum drink. So I'm going to be bartender for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So I
have this bottle too, Juan. I didn't know if you know anything about it because I just received it. But it's
wow.
And I haven't tried it yet, so I'm about to try it, and I wanted to see.
No. Send it to me, and I got to do some analysis. Send it my way. Don't open it. Do not touch it anymore.
Why?
I'll work on it for you. Don't worry, I'll figure it out.
Kevin and I are very jealous because Gabby won the Instacart lottery, and I think both Kevin and I were like, "What is that? Why didn't we get one?"
Wow.
Yeah, he said that this was the last one in the liquor store, so they just gave it to me. And I haven't opened it. I actually was gonna take it to San Diego next time and enjoy it with James and Kevin because I just feel silly drinking it with nothing. So
that is a beautiful rum right there.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Rum Solera. So we made a Solera rum style in a warehouse in Mexico. Pardon me. We have a beautiful distillery in Puebla, and then the Asian warehouse, which is in Tultitlan, which is on the outside of Mexico City, where our barrels sit right there, and the altitude is crazy. These are beautiful rums. And that one in particular is a Solera method. So we created a different way of blending a rum. So there's a pyramid at the end, and it's quite delicious. It's a very dry, sipping, distinguished rum. If somebody likes cognacs or dry whiskeys, they will fall in love with Bacardi Solera. I love the rum.
Wow.
Beautiful. I've never heard of that.
I'm jelly right now.
I can tell. It's definitely bleeding through your skin.
Is this hard to find? Is this hard to find?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh,
I've never even heard of it, honestly.
Jackpot, huh?
So don't say where you live. You live in Timbuktu.
It's a different rum. That
someone's gonna raid your house.
That rum sits in between Bacardi and Ocho somehow. But it's only available in Mexico and South America and Spanish markets, but it's not very rare to see it in the United States.
So I can't read it, but the whole entire back is Spanish. I can't really.
1873 Solera?
Huh? Send me a picture. I'll read it to you later.
When you make the national rum ambassador for Bacardi Jealous for a rum, then you've got something.
Right. Hashtag winning.
Yeah, my mouth is
Gabby, love you, girl.
I'm going to make you the Pub Club Luau Larry special, my favorite Bacardi drink. So I'm going to start out with the añejo, and I'm going to pour it I like my rum, so I'm going to pour it at least up to the bottom of the ice. At least. And then I'm going to take, James is going to start laughing now, but I take orange juice.
Orange juice, of course.
Kevin,
Just for you.
Ashley, you've had it before and loved it, so no criticism from you, okay?
Hey, I'm giggling because you and your OJ.
The guava.
And your rum and just everything about this situation.
I do guava or mango or some other juice. And then I, because I like a little spike, you know, Lou Larry always likes a topper. So I put a little
floater?
I'm putting the
or an umbrella.
10-year-old. And you know what? I think I'll take a couple of these mint leaves I have left over and put them in to give just a little mint spice. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The Lou Larry Top Pub Club Kempo Special Rum Drink. My favorite was my favorite party drinks.
Yeah, cheers.
And let me tell you, that is freaking delicious. And Isabella, if you played other songs so I can enjoy this drink, some great TropRock music, that would be awesome.
Isabella, I think you need to make a song about how much he loves his rum, and I can help you too. Well,
yeah. Well, we just so my old cat's name. She had little white tips on her ears, so I called her Tips. I was 8 when I got her. Now that I'm older, I understand. I'm like, well, now it's Tipsy. He drinks a lot, and so it's just like, you named her because you guys are always tipsy, right? I was like, no, stop. So I wrote a song about her name.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Ready? I'm ready.
Yeah, smelly. Oh boy. So I need these. We're gonna go from somewhat memory. All right, it's called Tipsy.
No way.
Wow, what is in this stuff?
Alcohol. That's what's in that.
All right, bear with me. I wrote this and do not have the full lyrics. So if I make up some words,
that's fine. You can ad-lib all you want, girl.
You know that's where I wanna be. All right, part 2. You know that's where I wanna be. 24 hours, 7 days a week. Barefooted, buzzing barefooted out on the boat with my Yeti cup raised up on the floor. SPF, no GPS, yes, let's go. Out on the sea, tipsy. Got my heart and crew with me. Drinking like a fish, getting dizzy. I'm on the sea, getting tipsy. There's definitely more there. But I'm not going to ruin the rest of this song, so I'm going to change it up and go to a 5 o'clock somewhere because I don't even have
it. Go for it. I don't blame you, girl. 5 o'clock somewhere, babe. 5 o'clock somewhere. You aren't going to upset Kevin. He loves that song.
Move this over. Dodge boulder. Sun is hot and that old clock is moving slow, and so my workday passes like molasses in wintertime. Hey, but it's July. Paid by the hour, older by the minute. My boss just pushed me over the limit. Like to call him something, I think I'll just call it a day. Pour me something tall and strong, make it a hurricane before I go insane. It's only 12:30, but I don't care. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. This lunch break is gonna take all afternoon and half the night. Tomorrow morning I know there'll be hell to pay. Hey, but that's alright. Ain't had a day off now in over a year. My Puerto Rican vacation's gonna start right here. If the phone's for me, you can tell them I just sailed away. Something tall and strong, make it a hurricane before I go insane. It's only 12:30, I don't care. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. I could pay off my tab, pour myself in a cab, and be back to work before 2. At a moment like this, I can't help but wonder, what would Jimmy Buffett do?
Well, you should ask.
He'd say, pour me something tall and strong, make it a hurricane before I go insane. It's only 12:30, I don't care. We don't care. Pour me something tall and strong, make it a hurricane before I go insane. It's only 12:30, I don't care. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. What time zone am I on? What country am I in?
Talk somewhere.
I didn't know you did that song so well. Wow, that was wow. Wow. I like that. I like that better than Buffett's version.
Oh.
I was singing and then my mic got muted, so there's that.
I tried to actually do that with one of my friends. We tried to harmonize on like live something, and it just came in so like jumbled and laggy. I was like, oh.
Well, you can't do it Zoom wise, but karaoke wise you can.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So my girlfriend and I, we sing karaoke. She goes low, I go high, but we don't sing the same songs. I think we could probably sing the same songs. She just goes low and I go high. Yeah, we've never done it though.
Isabella, I think the next time we should invite Terry, and you should sing a version of the "If You Like Piña Colada" song.
Oh.
If you got pina colada.
Well, how about
Definitely, I will. I'll have to
get lost in the rain.
For sure.
well, what's going to happen,
I'd
Juan?
love to do another show talking about Puerto Rico because there's so many different parts of Puerto Rico that we haven't even touched on. I mean, obviously, you got the bars and restaurants and food and music, but like
There's more than that?
is such an amazing place to explore for natural beauty and just seeing things that you won't see anywhere else certainly nowhere else in the U.S. and just go there and camp and hike and explore and see beautiful waterfalls and a lot of the stuff that you think of you have to go to Hawaii to see is right there in our backyard in Puerto Rico too. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you what,
It's
Juan,
true.
when you invite us down to Puerto Rico, Isabella, do not forget the guitar this time.
I will not.
You're close.
I just have brought my guitar to Puerto Rico before, so I know that one, and I'll have my own.
If you forget yours, I'll bring mine, and then it will be fine.
Extras are always good.
You can sing whatever you want, the Pina Colada song or whatever else. Maybe.
Yeah, I'll definitely play.
I gotta learn how to play mine first, but at least they'll have it, possession.
I love it. Oh, that's funny. Good one.
And Terry, any final words about Puerto Rico? Why people should go?
You know, as you can you hear me? As James said, we have the only rainforest in North America there, the Yunque. We have 3 luminescent bays that are amazing, and there's a company in San Juan that on a moonlight night will take you out kayaking, and it's an extraordinary experience. I mean, it really is. You can go out fishing. The surfing is amazing, and in every single case, again, the people are amazing. We're friendly. We will give you, what we say, un abrazo fuerte, a big hug. I guess for me as a UCLA Bruin, it would be a bear hug. And by the way, Kevin,
I'm a hugger. I love hugs.
Pac-12 just canceled the season.
No, I know. I heard that.
Wimps. Anyway.
When is the best one?
But again, also the food is extraordinary. I mean, and I really do encourage people to go. We're fellow Americans. We need the help. We've been really hit hard. I mean, I have the luxury of sitting here in Long Beach, but I just went to see my family for 14 days. I mean, you don't see as many tarps any longer because of Maria, but they have earthquakes. What's happened to the towns from Ponce to Guananilla? I mean, it's horrible, right? That one. And now the pandemic. They need support. So let's go, man. It's about tourism. It's about singers. It's about hospitality. Let's get them back on their feet.
Sounds like somebody's back in the kitchen.
Well, cheers to that.
Sounds like
absolutely. Cheers.
Sounds like somebody was back in the kitchen making some of that Puerto Rican pork. I don't know what that sound was.
Popcorn. My roommate is making popcorn in the microwave, apparently.
Well, you know what I'm dreaming about? I'm dreaming about some Majorcas right now. I think that's how it's pronounced, Majorca.
When is the best time to go to Puerto Rico? What's the best weather?
You know what?
Time.
Okay, if you're a wimp and you don't like heat, you probably want to go during the summer. But the weather there is it's great all year long. The tourism season is really in the fall into the winter. There is not going to be a tourism season there or here or anywhere in our country or in the world, really. So I would say go. Don't be afraid. Follow the rules. And probably the fall is great, but you know what? The best time to go probably is for Christmas. Christmas. And my favorite holiday, Los Tres Reyes, the Three Kings Day on January 6th.
Oh, back to that. She went full circle, y'all. Did you all catch that? Full circle. First circle. Full circle.
Yeah, I was there in September, and the water in September was so warm. It was super, super warm. But that was a great time too.
I mean, it's that's part of the season. Yeah, the water is always warm there.
Luau, Larry, and I went.
How cold does it usually get at all?
Never gets cold.
It can get to 70 maybe in the mountains. Well, that wrong. It's not.
And how cold is your winter?
Not really cold. It's probably
I know. I want to know Celsius.
The winter is as cold as the summer here.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking probably literally the lowest 70 degrees.
70.
No. 60 in the mountains at night, 70 to 80 during the day.
In the winter.
In the winter, yeah. Correct.
All right, I'm gonna come visit y'all then. Christmas time at your place.
Well, I tell you what, there's tons more for us to explore about Puerto Rico. So let's hang the phone up for this show. And let's plan to circle back and have a show talking more about some of the different.
Seriously, I want more specifics.
So, with that being said, Juan, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you, Bacardi. It's always been a great partner of ours, and
love y'all.
Made sure that beyond anything else, we are never thirsty over here. So thank you so much. And Terry, thank you very much for offering really some good insights, some personal insights.
And Isabella. For giving us great tunes.
To hear, a
thank you, Isabella.
PR people are on to promote things. You're on here just to talk about a culture and family that you love. So thank you very much for sharing that with us. And then of course, Isabella, thank you so much as always. And make sure to go contact her on Venmo She's been a great partner, and she deserves not just our appreciation, but any support, because we are all in this together.
Thank you so much for having me again.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for joining us. I thought you were gone forever. I was like so sad. Please come again. Please come again.
Bye, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
the
Juan, thank